Okay, so get this right. Baking soda.
Baking soda.
It's like we all have it
Yeah.
sitting in our pantry,
Right.
but it's like a secret weapon
Oh, absolutely.
hiding in plain sight.
It's true.
Baking soda, it's not just for cookies anymore.
No, no.
We're going deep on this today.
Let's dive in. What's so fascinating is, everyone has it, but
Mhm.
nobody knows, like, the full potential.
Exactly. It can do so much more than just make our cookies rise. We're
Wow.
talking like health, household, you name it.
It's true. It's like the ultimate multitasker.
Huh.
And to guide us through this baking soda bonanza, we're actually taking inspiration from the Testo and Colato podcast. They did this whole episode on why we should be using baking soda every day.
Mm.
It was a wild ride, let me tell you.
No kidding. I listened to that episode and I was blown away. I thought I knew a thing or two about baking soda, but I was definitely wrong.
It's amazing, huh? They start with the basics. Like baking soda, what is it really? And get this, it's a naturally occurring mineral.
Wait, really? I always just assumed it was like a manufactured thing.
Right. But it's actually found in nature in places like Tuscany.
Get out of here, Tuscany! The land of pasta and beautiful scenery. Who knew they had baking soda mines too?
I know. It's pretty cool. But of course, these days, most baking soda is produced industrially.
Makes sense. Probably easier to keep up with demand that way. But still, it's pretty neat to think about it just existing out there in nature.
Absolutely. It's a great example of how we've taken something from nature
Hmm.
and found ways to, produce it on a larger scale to improve our lives.
Totally. And speaking of improving our lives, are you ready for this?
Always. Hit me with it.
Baking soda.
Yeah.
Canker sores.
Really?
Yeah. You know those little mouth ulcers that, like, take over your life for a week?
Ugh, the worst. I used to get them all the time when I was a kid.
Me too. And they're just, like, the worst, right? But apparently baking soda can help.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously, studies show that rinsing with baking soda can actually help them heal faster.
Wow, that's amazing. I never knew that.
Right, it's like this miracle cure hiding in our pantry. So I looked into it a bit, and it turns out that baking soda is alkaline.
Okay.
And basically that means it's like the opposite of acidic.
Right.
And guess what loves an acidic environment? Canker sores. They thrive in it. So the baking soda neutralizes that acidity, creating an environment where those pesky sores can heal faster.
That makes so much sense. It's like creating a hostile environment for those canker sore villains.
Exactly. It's like baking soda swoops in with its alkaline powers and saves the day.
I love it.
But hold on, because it gets even crazier.
Even crazier. Don't tell me baking soda cures a common cold, too.
Okay, maybe not that crazy, but close. Athletes, listen up. Baking soda might just be your new secret weapon.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
We're talking endurance. We're talking longer workouts.
Okay.
Pushing those limits
All right.
further,
Yeah.
all thanks to baking soda.
What? Really? How does that work?
Okay, so it's all about this thing called lactic acid.
Okay.
You know that burn you feel during an intense workout?
Oh, yeah.
That's lactic acid, right?
Right. Building up in your muscles, making you want to collapse on the floor in a sweaty heap.
Exactly. But here's where baking soda comes in. It acts as a buffer.
A buffer.
Yeah, like it neutralizes the acid, delays that fatigue.
So are you saying that if I start incorporating baking soda into my routine, I could potentially run that extra mile, push for that personal best?
That's what they're saying. I know, it's wild.
Well, we always advocate for consulting, healthcare professionals before starting any new, supplement routine.
Of course, of course.
The research on baking soda and athletic performance is actually pretty compelling.
I know, right? It makes you want to grab a teaspoon of baking soda and hit the gym. But before we all turn into Olympic athletes, let's not forget about the rest of our bodies. This episode totally blew my mind when they started talking about baking soda baths.
Baking soda baths, for real.
For real. Bug bites, rashes, sunburns, you name it. A baking soda bath can soothe it all, apparently.
Wow, so it's like a magic potion for your skin.
Right. It sounds crazy, but it actually makes sense when you think about it.
How so?
Well, remember how we talked about baking soda being alkaline?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that's really helpful for our skin, too. When your skin is irritated, it's inflamed, right?
Right.
So a baking soda bath can actually help calm everything down, reduce that itching and redness.
That's amazing. It's like a natural anti-inflammatory.
Exactly. And it's so simple. Just add some baking soda to your bath water and voila. instant spa treatment.
I'm definitely going to have to try that.
You have to. It's a game changer, especially in the summer when those mosquitoes are out in full force. But, okay, get this. They even talked about baking soda and cancer treatment.
Wait, what? Baking soda and cancer? That seems like a bit of a stretch.
I know, right? It sounds crazy, but the research is actually pretty promising.
Really? Tell me more.
So the idea is that baking soda might be able to influence the pH levels within tumors, potentially making anti-tumor drugs even more effective.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's not like baking soda is curing cancer on its own.
Exactly. It's more about potentially enhancing the effectiveness of existing treatments. But, and this is a big but, we are not saying to go out and self-medicate with baking soda. This is definitely a time to talk to your doctor.
Absolutely. Especially when it comes to something as serious as cancer. Always, always rely on the guidance of healthcare professionals.
100%. They are the experts. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with the health benefits of baking soda, but this podcast, they didn't stop there.
Oh, yeah.
They took it to a whole other level.
Oh, really?
With household uses. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
my mind was blown. Like,
Yeah.
I thought I knew a thing or two about baking soda,
Right.
but
Yeah.
they totally opened my eyes.
It's amazing, right? How many different things.
I know. It's incredible. Remember when they were talking about baking soda mouthwash?
Oh, yeah. That was a good one.
So I actually tried it.
Really?
After listening to the episode, because I was
Yeah.
like, I got to see what this is all about.
Right.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
it's a game changer.
No kidding.
Like, I'm never going back to regular mouthwash. So apparently it gets into all those hard to reach places
Yeah.
where your toothbrush just can't quite reach.
Right.
And it tackles that bacteria.
Interesting.
Plus, it even helps whiten your teeth.
Oh, wow. That's a bonus. I didn't realize that.
I know. It's like the best of both worlds. And it's so easy to make.
What is it, like half a teaspoon?
Yeah, just half a teaspoon of baking soda and half a glass of water, swish it around, and you're good to go.
It's so simple.
I know. And it's so much cheaper than buying those fancy mouthwashes.
Right.
Okay, but odors.
Odors, okay.
We've all been there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you open the gym bag,
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
and it's like, whoa,
It's rough.
hit with that wall of,
Yeah, you don't even want to know what's in there.
Exactly. But baking soda to the rescue.
Really? So tell me about this.
It doesn't just mask those smells.
Okay.
It neutralizes them.
Get out. How does it do that?
Okay, so remember how we talked about baking soda neutralizing acid?
Uh-huh.
Well, it does the same thing for those odor-causing bacteria.
Oh, interesting.
It's like a natural deodorizer.
That's amazing.
I know, it's like magic. They had some great tips in the podcast episode, too, like using it as a fridge freshener,
Okay, yeah.
sprinkling it in your trash can,
That makes sense.
even making your own, like, DIY room spray
Yeah.
with essential oils
That's really cool.
and baking soda.
Wow, that's amazing. So how does that work? You just like mix it with water and essential oils?
Yeah, exactly. It's so easy. They even said you can use it to clean burnt pots and pans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like those ones that look like they've been through a war zone.
Yeah.
Little baking soda, some water, bit of elbow grease,
Okay.
and those burnt-on messes are gone.
It's like magic.
I know, right? It's unbelievable how this one ingredient can do so many different things.
That's true.
They even said it can help whiten laundry and get rid of mold.
Baking soda for mold.
Yeah.
Really?
Have you ever tried that?
I actually use it all the time for mold.
Huh.
Especially in the bathroom.
Does it really work?
It works wonders. It's a game changer. I mix it with a little bit of water to make a paste, apply it to the moldy areas, let it sit for a while, and then scrub it off.
And the mold is just gone.
Gone. It's amazing how well it works. Plus, it's a natural solution, so I don't have to worry about harsh chemicals.
That's so smart. I'm definitely going to have to try that.
You should. You won't be disappointed. It's like a secret weapon against mold.
It's like we're uncovering all these secret weapons in our kitchens.
I know, right? Like baking soda is the superhero of the house.
It really is. But speaking of superheroes, they did mention a couple of things that baking soda maybe isn't so super at.
Oh, really? Like what? I thought it could do anything.
Right, I know. I kind of thought so too, but apparently there are some myths out there about baking soda
That's okay.
that the podcast wanted to debunk.
I'm all ears.
So two big ones were using it for kidney problems and heartburn.
Really? I thought baking soda was supposed to be good for heartburn.
I know, me too. I've heard that for years. Like my grandma used to swear by it.
My grandma, too.
But according to the podcast, it's not really a good long-term solution
Interesting.
because it can actually make things worse.
Okay, how so? I would have thought Like, less acid is a good thing when it comes to heartburn.
Right. That's what I thought too, but apparently we actually need stomach acid for digestion.
Oh, okay.
And when you constantly neutralize it with baking soda,
Yeah.
it can disrupt that process.
Oh, I see.
So it's like putting a Band-Aid on a bigger issue.
Right. It's just a temporary fix.
Exactly. And the same goes for kidney problems.
Yeah.
While there's been some preliminary research, relying on baking soda as a treatment could actually be risky.
So it's better to consult a doctor in those cases.
Always.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to our health.
Absolutely. Don't mess around with your health. Always talk to a professional.
100%. Doctors are the real experts.
Exactly.
But you know what's cool?
Said that.
It's like this whole episode has just opened my eyes to how much we might be underestimating everyday items.
Right.
Like, we go through life thinking, oh, that's just for baking or that's just for cleaning.
Totally.
But really, there's a whole world of possibilities waiting to be uncovered.
I know. It's like we limit ourselves with these preconceived notions.
Exactly. It's like that saying, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
That's so true.
We might think we have it all figured out. But then we do a deep dive on something like baking soda, and it's like, whoa.
It's a whole new world.
I know, and that's what I love about these deep dives. It's like we're all on this journey together, uncovering all these hidden gems.
I know, right? Like, who knew baking soda could be so fascinating?
Right. And speaking of fascinating, I have to share one more thing from the Testo Incalado episode.
Okay, give me with it.
They left us with this really thought-provoking question.
Oh, I love a good thought-provoking question. Lay it on me.
Okay, so given everything we've learned about baking soda today,
Yeah.
all its different uses,
Right.
what's one new use you're inspired to try in your own life?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Right.
It really makes you think.
It does. And honestly, I'm still trying to decide myself.
Me too. There are so many good ones.
I know. Like, do I want to try the baking soda bath for my mosquito bites?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Or maybe finally tackle that burnt pan that's been sitting in my cupboard?
That's a tough one.
I know. It's like the possibilities are endless.
They really are. It's like baking soda has opened up a whole new world of possibility.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so exciting about this.
Absolutely.
It's not just about baking soda.
Yeah.
It's about realizing that there's always something new to learn.
Totally. And that even the most ordinary things can have extraordinary uses.
Exactly. Well said. Well, on that note, I think we've definitely squeezed all the goodness out of this baking soda deep dive.
I agree. We've covered it all. From health hacks to household tips, even busted a few myths along the way. We did. And we even got a little philosophical there at the end. But hey, that's what these deep dives are all about, right? Expanding our minds and uncovering those hidden gems of knowledge.
Absolutely. It's been a fun ride.
It really has. But before we sign off, I want to hear from our listeners.
Yes. Let's keep this baking soda train rolling.
Exactly. So tell us, what's one new way you're going to incorporate baking soda into your life? Head over to our social media pages and share your baking soda adventures with us. We can't wait to hear all about it.
And who knows? Maybe we'll even feature some of your tips and tricks in a future episode.
Now that's something to look forward to. Until next time, happy experimenting, everyone.